What's up, everybody? This is GreyMan here. Welcome to another Geared Up Wednesday. We're going to dig into the Fire Dragon, the multi-fuel cooker. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? So, like I said prior, we're here up on this Geared Up Wednesday, man. We're going to dig into this Fire Dragon, and we're going to talk about, solid fuel. You guys can see that. I don't even know if the camera does it backwards, if it reverses it or not, but you guys might be seeing this in reverse. Hey, we got to use what we got to use to do these things. But basically, we're going to focus on this. We're going to kind of dive into the difference between the two. So what I mean, the difference between the two is a campfire, or a fire with wood burning fire, versus a solid fuel. Now, from my understanding and from my experience, I've noticed that solid fuel has a smaller footprint. No smell, very little to, if any, no smoke. So if you're trying to be covert and kind of in a certain situation where you're kind of like, don't want nobody to know where you're at, man, and you're trying to boil some water for purification, you're trying to boil some water for coffee or for a quick meal or something like that, like a freeze-dried meal, this might be the route to go. And funny enough, if you look at it, it's the size of my hand. I mean, this thing is pretty compact. I mean, right there, man, it's lightweight, very small, and so basically the way it works is I put some of the solid fuel in there because you can kind of hold solid fuel inside there, you know what I'm saying? And I'll dump this out, put it in my pocket here if I can. No need to cut, just keep it rolling, you know what I'm saying? So mine's a bit used, because this is where you're going to put your solid fuel at, which is something like this. And like I suggest, you might want to, you can either use two of these, or they have a bigger version that'll fit a little bit more and get a little bit more heat out of it. They burn about 8 to 12 minutes or so, just enough to boil some water. You know what I mean? It's not going to be something that's you're gonna use to keep you warm or stuff like that. This is like a nice quick little thing, but it has a little wind guard that you put on here. It tells you which way to go out with it, and you're going to kind of click it in here. If I do it right. Just like that. Then you're going to bring these two up here like that, and you're going to set your mug or your frying pan on top of this. Now this is the wind guard, and this is where you can see your flame, and I'll show you a little bit of that when I hopefully the audio and everything will come out right on it, but hopefully I'll show you the flame from that, and I'll show you a flame from the campfire, the difference, and that kind of fun shit, you know what I mean? I hate when I cuss too, man. It drives me nuts, but it's just, you can't change who you are, man. It's just part of your vocabulary. But like I said, you can put the solid fuel in there. This thing goes nice and closes up nice and thing. You can put this in your pocket, to be honest with you. Put it in your bag, put it somewhere. And the best thing about it is, and I'll probably repeat myself as I always say, it's like 8 to 10 bucks depending on where you find it. Again, this was used by the British military. At least that's from my understanding from the research that I dug into. It's a surplus item now. You can find it at a lot of places, and there's a couple of companies that make similar, but this is the brand that you're looking for right here. And there we go. Hopefully you guys can see that, but it's called the Fire Dragon, and it's really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and cut to my little experiment with the Fire Dragon, little portable solid fuel stove and a campfire, and I'll see you guys there in just a minute. All right, y'all have a good one. I'll see you in a minute. What's up, everybody? This is GreyMan, and so again, like I said, we are testing out this device here versus a campfire to see which one will boil water faster. Now there's benefits to both. Here you have wood, easy to start. You can use your where is it at? Your ferro rod, which I have in my pocket. Anyways, you get the idea. So this, with the solid fuel, you kind of need a lighter or something like that. I haven't tried using the ferro rod with it yet, but I noticed using the solid fuel is going to be a lot easier to start the solid fuel with a lighter versus your normal campfire, which you can start with the ferro rod or whatever means that you have, fire starting skills that you have, you know. So we're just kind of winding down and see which one we get to boil water faster. Now I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about this guy here, which I know I got it here, the box. Like I said, I showed you guys earlier, the fire dragon. Can't really see it because I'm far away from the camera now at this point. But yeah, the fire dragon is a multi-fuel cooker that you use solid fuel. Now, here's some key takeaways in regards to it. This has smoke, which is highly visible. As you can see, the smoke rising, the smell, and so on and so forth. So it depends on your situation. If you're trying to be more covert and you're trying to just heat up some water to either disinfect it for drinking water, or if you're trying to heat up some some water to eat some food. Be it if you're out camping, or if you're just out in a bug out situation, or you got it in your get home bag and whatnot. There's benefits to both. Like I said, there's always pros and cons to each individual thing. Now, I do like the solid fuel because, like I said, it has no smell. You know, it's very concealable, very compact, and usually it takes, from what they say, I think on the back of the box, wherever I did with it, it says it will boil water in roughly 8 to 10 minutes. We shall see. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys with sitting here for 8 to 10 minutes watching, this go off. I got my main camera and I got a secondary camera, which is my phone, kind of paying attention to this guy a little bit here. And then I got the fire going here. And it's a small campfire. I'm not trying to make some sort of roaring thing, just enough to get this water boiling. And so far, it looks like the solid fuel, I see bubbles in that one. And it's going pretty good. So that one's getting close to boiling. And then this one, it's there. The coals are nice and hot underneath the fire. But we shall see. Anyways, I suggest when you're using any type of gear like this, depending on your campfire and stuff like that, I wear gloves just to protect myself. So when I go to grab either one, I don't burn myself. Last thing you need is an injury. And I'm just kind of enjoying the weather out here. It's a brisk 54 or 55 degrees or whatever it is, but it's Florida, it's sunny. And I found this little patch, kind of inset. I mean, and there's a lot of debris and stuff in this area. Maybe people dump stuff around here. Hell if I know. But just if I wanted to find a spot where I can kind of show you guys the difference in the two without being bothered too much. So I drove and drove and drove as far as I could. And I do apologize, this video is probably going to be coming out a lot more later than I expected, which I probably already said that earlier. But anyways, man, I want you guys to sit back, relax. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and see where it goes. So, all right, we are back. Honestly, they both kind of boiled the water very similar. Maybe a minute behind each other. So it's going to be up to you what you would like to use for either camping or bugging out. I've noticed, like I said before, I like the space that this is in, being that it's extremely compact, very lightweight. Has a low visibility. There's no smoke other than if you can't, the smoke from this is kind of destroying this, but this is just from the water boiling itself. This, of course, you have more of a footprint here versus a footprint there. And yeah, man, I mean, both waters are pretty much at the same point. They're both boiling, basically. And other than that, like I said, it did take about 8 to 10 minutes. And I've realized something, doing videos out here, man, to bring all your camera equipment and all that stuff like that, it is a lot harder than I expected. But I'm trying to get better at what I'm doing for you guys. And, man, this was awesome. This was fun. Yeah, I'm going to say, honestly, I keep on moving all my stuff around, but, that's how it works. I was going to kind of give you guys some more details, but I'll do a little follow-up on this here in a second. But this fire dragon here, man, it is awesome. And this is used, from my understanding, it's used by the British military. I don't know if it's still part of their thing. I'll have to dig more into it. But this is supposed to be used by the British military. And usually most things used in a military surplus or military in general that we can get as civilians is beneficial. I mean, because it's been, put through this tests and paces. But yeah, man, I'm going to wrap this up here on this side of things, and I will see you guys here in a second with kind of a little follow-up. But yeah, I like both. I do like the compact, like I said, of this. The footprint of this is very small. This was something I would put in my get-home bag, and of course this is my backup for if something doesn't work with this, or if it gets broken, or I don't have solid fuel, or I run out, or whatnot. But I do, and I did learn one thing with this, though. There's different size solid fuel tabs. There's like the 14 gram or the 20-something gram. The bigger ones do work better with this. I had to use 2 of the smaller ones because I think it worked better with the surface area for the cup itself. But yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. I did learn a lot in this little adventure of mine. Hopefully, maybe you guys picked up a few tips. If you guys are interested in this, I will put a link below in the description of the video if you guys want to check it out. And like I said before, $8 to $10 for this little stove, it's pretty badass, at least from my standpoint. All right, guys, I'm going to see you up here in a few minutes on the follow-up.